night show, so
No.
recorded it. But
Live.
I watched Survivor.
Oh,
yeah,
I watched
not a huge fan.
I don't know. I'm not really into like reality TV. I'm not a huge reality TV person, which I don't know.
Same.
It kind of stresses me out.
Yeah,
It's
there's
like too reality.
unnecessary acting and all that. So
Yeah.
Katie's showing me us on the.
Streaming y'all live.
Okay.
That's so funny.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our well met live
yeah,
show.
live.
We'll be discussing Well Met by DeLuca. Woo!
Woohoo!
So if you hear chewing sounds, I'm eating my dinner currently.
And I have popcorn.
I have nothing. I just ate dinner.
Jeez, Jen.
I want to do a mukbang book of you. Something like that.
Oh yeah, we should do that. No, I was
So do we want to do our highs and lows and our currently readings?
Gosh, why do I never think about these things like ahead of time?
I thought about it like 30 seconds before I hooked up my computer to the LeBron stream. I was like, oh god.
I left my book that I'm currently reading in my room.
Do you want me to get them?
I would love you. Okay. So they're both in my purse, which is by my bed. And then I need the dust jacket for one, which is, if you don't find it, that's fine. It's like on top of some books in that bookcase. Okay. Here I go.
Okay. Does anyone have a really good high or low?
I'm really excited because I got invited to host the Kindle Unlimited Weekend Readathon.
Yeah, I saw that. That was so cool. I was like, oh my gosh.
I'm excited for it.
I'm really going to try and participate. It's just, when is it again?
The 27th to the 29th of December.
Okay. I might be able to do it. I'll still be in like my hometown, but I mean, there's not much going on that week, so I'll try and participate.
That's
I love
Tasha saying hi.
Hi,
Yes.
Tasha.
I realized that on like my side screen, I can change it from the private chat to the live comments, and I can see them come up on my computer.
You can? Oh, live comments. Dang, why did we not see this before?
Because I don't know.
I have issues.
Same, it's fine.
Technological issues.
Does anyone else have a high? Months?
I feel like it might be that tomorrow is like the last day of work for me until after Christmas. So
That's nice.
I'm pretty excited.
That's nice.
Yeah. So it's like a future high. I have to get through tomorrow, but you know.
Yeah. No, I work right until Christmas Eve, so
That's tough.
Where do you work again, Jen? I know you do piano lessons, but
piano ended because like we're on the kids' schedule basically, so they're on Christmas break as of tomorrow, but we ended on Monday. But my editing job at a magazine publishing company, I go right till Christmas.
That's a really, really cool job, though.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot you did that. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, Tasha, I saw your. Yeah, I'm really lucky. I work in a school, so we go with the kids' schedule. So it's got its perks, you know. Work with tiny humans, but you get perks, you know.
You might get puked on. You never know.
Hey, look, I got my low though. My low, which relates, is that I just got over the stomach bug from said German children.
No.
So you know, it's give and take, people. It's give and take.
Yeah, I work with kids too. I have such a strong immune system because
Oh my God.
I've been working with kids since I was 14. So strong immune system.
Yeah, mine's pretty good typically, but that stomach stuff, like you can't.
Yeah,
beat
you
it.
can't. You can't.
Like no amount of Purell hand gel is gonna save you from this.
No.
My low is just the stress of finals, which thank God
you're done.
Yeah, thank God they're over.
Yay!
Yay!
Oh, it always felt so good to be done finals.
Yeah.
Okay. Jen, do you have a low or?
Not particularly. I guess I have like highs this month where you guys sending me books.
Yeah. I'm so excited for you to read that, Jen. Like, because I'm gonna make everybody read a historical romance at some point.
I'm so ready. I'm so ready. And then I guess seeing Frozen was pretty fun. So yeah.
It was when did I see? I saw it in November. I guess
right when it came out.
Yeah, I think I saw it at Thanksgiving. But I'm really excited to go see Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
I have to get caught up. I've been a huge Star Wars fan since I was a kid.
Mhm.
I don't know why the newer ones, I've never seen them in theaters. I don't know why. I'm really afraid. I've never seen the new ones. Like the newer ones.
They're on Disney Plus.
People really love them.
I'm like, I don't know why. I'm just so nervous watching.
I will say, I thought the new ones were better than the prequels, if that makes sense. Like, there's the originals, and then there's like the prequels, and then there's like the new ones. And I think that it's like old, the ones now, and then the prequels, in my opinion.
I've never seen a single Star Wars, so can't wait.
It's like I think you either like have a family member, like AKA my dad, that like forces it upon you, or you don't.
This is true, because my dad, I don't think has ever seen any of them.
Really?
Or if he has, there's like one he saw, but he's not into anything that's not like real life. So like I forced him to watch Harry Potter with me. So and he was like, I need to rewatch the third one, my brain. And I was like, yeah, I get that. The Time Turner part is ridiculous, but okay.
That part is confusing.
Yeah.
Cool.
What are you guys currently reading?
Okay. You guys go first.
I'm currently reading two things. Thank you, Katie, for getting me these books. I left them in my room.
I did not buy those for you.
I'm on page 73 of Watch Over Me by Mila Gray. This is the fourth book in her companion romance series that I absolutely love. This one is about a girl who is like takes her family and tries to flee from her abusive father who's just released from jail. And her brother's best friend, who's in the Coast Guard, like basically comes to like help her out and like help protect her family and everything. So it's like their romance story.
I saw you talk about that in your video, the one of them, and I was like, I need that book. I got to catch up on the one before it, though, in that series.
Okay, to be honest, you could skip that one. It has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with any of the previous books. It has to do with this one.
Maybe I will.
I honestly didn't like that one. Didn't like the third book. It has nothing to do with the other books anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really like that one. I say you can skip it. It's fine if you really want to get to that one.
Yeah, the plot just sounded really intriguing.
And then I'm also listening to The Chaos of Standing Still by Jessica Brody. This is a young adult winter-esque.
I was gonna say, like that one's a themed one, right?
Yeah, this is the night before January 1st, so just New Year's Eve. This girl is stuck in a airport because of a blizzard and a snowstorm, and she accidentally bumps into a guy and picks up her phone. Like after bumping into him, but it's not her phone, it's his phone. And they actually switch phones. And she's like has to try and find him and everything. And like this has great representation of grief so far, and I believe like anxiety too.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm really enjoying that one. I'm like 50% of the way through that.
Nice.
That sounds really cool too. It's been a while since I read a contemporary YA.
I don't think I've read a single one this year.
I've read like maybe one or two.
I'm tired of contemporary YA.
That's kind of why. Yeah. So let us know if it's good.
I will. What about y'all?
The only one that I can really remember, because like always I'm reading like 5 books at once, is Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. I picked this up finally. Finally, it was released at the beginning of December. I don't know what I'm saying. But I also finished recently both One Day in December and We Met in December. Very similar titles. Kind of similar vibe, but
you were talking about how you loved One Day in December. Everyone should
God. Everybody needs to read that book.
Everyone's got very strong opinions on that book, though, too.
Ripped my soul apart.
I saw your like sobbing pictures, and I'm like, wow, she really got into this one.
From about the halfway point in, because it's so real and raw, and it's just the missed opportunities and just time not lining up, and it's just so real and so heartbreaking for most of it. And it's wild because it goes over a decade. It's like you can you see how characters change. So I went from like loving Jack to hating his guts to loving him again because he just became so terrible in the middle, and then he came back up because he went through stuff, and like, oh, so good.
Awesome.
So good. We Met in December was like, yeah, it was like the same kind of concept, except it was only a year span, and it felt like New Girl, the TV show, which I loved.
Oh my god, you just said
me too.
Oh, I love that TV show with all my heart. Like, it's probably one of my favorite. It is my favorite TV show.
Really?
Let's rephrase that. And so it's between this girl named Jess, funnily enough, and Alex. So she moves into this house on Notting Hill in London because her friend is like renting it out really cheap, and there's a bunch of people in this house who live with them, and she meets this guy the night it's like before Christmas, and it's one of her flatmates, and she's like, oh, I feel something, there's like a connection here, he's so attractive. And then she goes away for 2 weeks on vacation with her friends, comes back expecting there to be like something there, finds out that he's sleeping with another flatmate of the house. And so she's like, well, damn. Like, I don't know. And then it's like the year that follows. So,
interesting.
Yeah, it was good. It was good, but it didn't get into, I think it could have been a lot longer, and there wasn't as much of that like slow burn tug and pull of a romance. It was just kind of like surface level until the end. It was like, oh.
I think all three of us appreciate more of a slow burn.
Yeah. Like you need a little bit of the tug and pull. You need that accidental kiss. Like you need stuff like that in the middle. And it didn't really have that, but it was still festive and fun. So that was good.
I agree with you on all those terms that we need.
Yeah. Okay, so I haven't read that much this week at all. I don't know what it is about Christmas. I get like caught up doing stuff, and I just haven't read that much. And then when I got sick, I just wanted to like lay comatose, like in a fetal or like in a fetal position. But I'm rereading Shadow of Night, which is the book 2, and Discovery of Witches. So I've already read it, but I'm just rereading it just because I felt like it. So I'm kind of like slowly just going through it. I also rewatched the TV show recently, which, that always makes you be like, oh, what happens next? And their second season is coming out soon-ish.
Ooh.
So is the TV show a good like adaptation?
Avery, you would love it. I'm like, girl, go watch it. You probably both would. Huh?
Should I read the books first?
Okay, so I had my best friend watch it with me, and she kind of wishes she had read the book first because I think it's a fairly faithful adaptation. So it's almost like boring if you watch the show because then you're like, it's not as exciting to read it, if that makes sense. So I would maybe recommend, if you have time, read the book first, but they're hunkers. Like they're chunky, so they're not for everybody. Like some people absolutely hate the series, but I love it. So that's all that matters, right?
Really good.
And then I just picked up this one actually. I don't know if you can see this. It's called Her Christmas Rogue. It's like hold on. There we go. This one by Christy Caldwell. It's like a historical romance novella, Christmassy. It's in Kindle Unlimited. So
very nice.
I just wanted something like festive to read that was short. I love Christmas novellas. They're where it's at because my attention span this time of year is like this big. So
you should try. Have either of you tried Faking Under the Mistletoe yet?
No, I want to. Chelsea Darling Reads is like currently reading that, I think.
Yeah. It's so
started reading it over Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like after you talked about it, and then when you like get started, and then I went on a trip, and then I put it down. So it was really cute. I got to like 15%. Yeah.
It's
so
just
maybe I'll
like from the first page just oozes Christmas. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And
I did really appreciate that. Yeah.
I want to get to it. I want to do it.
I do hate when like something is marketed as like a Christmas book, especially like the novellas or the Kindle Unlimited ones. And they're not Christmassy at all. Like I'd read one earlier this year, and I'm like, literally nothing Christmassy except for one mention of snow. I'm like, you just want to sell this book at Christmas, and that kind of annoyed me. So.
It's like One Day in December could be read at any point in time in the year because it follows them throughout the year, and it's not festive. Like there are scenes set around Christmas where they're going like Christmas shopping and stuff like that, and then like at the end it's Christmas type of thing, but you could read it at any time of year.
Good to know, because I feel like that cover makes you think it's like you have to read it at Christmas.
Yeah, because like the whole thing like starts when she sees like the guy like oh god, what the hell's his name? Jack. When Olivia sees Jack, it's when she's coming home on like a December 20th or something, and she's got tinsel in her hair, and it's like she's exhausted, but she sees him, and it's around Christmas. So then it like it starts on Christmas and ends, a decade later on Christmas. So like that's why. But
I'm curious to see. I don't do well with like I've tried before books that take place over that long of a period, and I just don't. I don't know. In the past, they haven't worked for me, but
yeah. They're a trope for sure.
Yeah. And like
I've never watched or read Love, Rosie, but it's the same type of thing. And I think I'm like probably never going to go into Love, Rosie, because I know that the ending people hate.
Yeah.
Because like I'm like, if I'm going into it and investing like a decade of your time on this book, I want there to be a happy, good ending. Like I don't want it to end in another misconnection. Like I'm not putting this amount of time into it. So as long as you know it ends well, it's good.
True.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Woo! We must have our books.
What do you what first impressions, non spoilery?
I loved this.
Same. It was so cute.
So good. We were saying we're like finally picked one that like all three of us really loved. So we're like,
I don't know what it is. I think it's I was thinking about it. I'm like, I love that most of the ones that we've picked that like we've read physically, I've liked, except for like Meet Cute. Meet Cute was an anomaly. Yeah. But they're good.
Yeah. I feel like too the ones that we've read physically have been a little bit more of like a traditional like contemporary romance, maybe. I don't know if that has come of it.
I think they've been more contemporary based.
Like mainstream too.
Yeah, because people because of the illustrated covers, people are gravitating to them more, I think.
I agree.
Like there's been talk about that. And
yeah.
Dog. Baby.
Bark at anything and everything. There's the wind. There's no one there.
It's okay. No. My dog did that once when I was home alone. But she went from a dead sleep to just like screaming near the door, and I was like, don't do that. You're giving me a heart attack. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Because then you think there's someone there.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, no, I really, really liked it. I thought it had great characters. It had great plot. I liked, I thought it was like deep enough without being like too emotional of a read.
Totally.
But it also wasn't like super, super fluffy. Like I felt like it had some depth to it, which some of them haven't.
That's very true.
And because this is DeLuca's like debut, right?
Is it?
Sure it is. Is it not?
I don't know.
I thought it was. Somebody Google that.
I've got her Goodreads page up. Hold the phone.
Because I'm pretty sure it was.
Her first novel, inspired by her friend volunteering at a pub bench with her local Renaissance fair.
I thought I had read that. So I was so impressed that it was her first debut. Novel, because it was so well.
I also feel like, I don't know, we're in the minority because most of the people on Goodreads, they did not rate it as high as, like, I rated it 5 stars, you know?
I think I rated it 5 stars, but like 4.5 in the comments because it's not a 5-star read for me.
I think it was.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. The background ambiance is great.
Had some like excitement.
I think my main negative about this is that we didn't get enough of Simon and Emily together.
I completely agree.
It wasn't long enough for sure, and there wasn't enough of that. Like, there was a bit of it, but like I needed more of their relationship before it like crumbled. You know?
Yeah.
I agree. I think I don't want to say spoil. Are we in like we're still no spoils, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I think I agree. I thought I could have used a little bit more, but I feel like I always say that. Like I'm always the person who wants more. I want like an epilogue and I want like more information. And
I actually get really angry at a lot of romance epilogues because I'm like, this feels like you're just giving this to us because
of people like me.
Like because people you're just trying to like wrap it up in a pretty bow. And I would get really mad when it's like a year ahead and it's like, oh, will you marry me? I'm like, I don't want that. I want their life, please.
Yeah.
I wish the only gripes that I have about it, other than I did find the epilogue kind of like, you know, like you don't really.
I was like, this is unnecessary.
There wasn't much there.
I liked that it was there, but like also I wouldn't be upset if it wasn't.
Yeah.
You know? But I really wanted more Ren Fair stuff.
Really?
I was expecting more of like the initial like practicing stuff. And I wanted more of her like in the Renaissance Fair.
Yes,
and we didn't get that because she was sequestered to the bar most of it. And I almost think that was the author's choice to like not have to describe the Ren Fair as much, which is weird to me. I'm like, why? Why would you pick this
and
storyline?
The character even complains about that, like, you know, during the book that she wants to like get out of the bar.
She's like, I don't even know where everything is. And I'm kind of glad that at the end she gets to see it mostly, but even then we don't, like as a reader, we don't get to really experience it as much as like I would want to.
Yeah, same.
That's true.
This would be a good movie, I think.
Yes.
Or a TV show.
I would kill for this.
This would make such a good rom-com. Like somebody pick this up.
Yes. It reminded me a lot of Shakespeare in Love for some reason. Like, I don't know why. It just reminded me of Shakespeare in Love.
I don't know why. I like that movie.
I guess the costumes you have to wear reminded me of it.
True.
I want a Simon in his pirate getup.
Oh my gosh, I'd love to see Simon in this pirate getup.
Same.
I'll take him without. It's fine. Just in his regular clothes.
Mitch? Is it Mitch? I want to see Mitch in his kilt.
Oh, yeah. Who? Okay, but like before we go into this, who would you cast as Mitch?
I mean, other than like obviously like Jamie Fraser from like Outlander, you know.
You know who kind of popped in my head, and I don't know why, is like Chris Pratt. I don't know why.
Yes, because
Chris Hemsworth. Liam Hemsworth would be fine with me.
Oh yeah, he'd be
fine.
Think
Chris Hemsworth would be perfect because he's got like the stance, like the stature. So definitely for sure them.
Yeah. I think it's because I just watched all the Avengers movies, so they're like in my head. Yeah, I finally caught up. I was like 2 behind, so I finally watched.
I just rewatched all of them because of Disney Plus.
Yeah, me too.
Just a side note, the Book Jiva is asking if we've decided what we're reading. No, we have not. We have not decided, but we will announce it eventually.
It'll be like the live show will like be probably in late January. Like it'll technically be like our January book.
Yeah.
It's just this book was like for November and December, so it was like in between them, you know. So I guess we haven't really. I haven't at least had enough time to like.
I think we had. I know Avery had mentioned that we might start a Twitter though. For this, so you can always like we'll send out the link or whatever, but they'll probably say on there as well what it is, or you can just
I'll try to make that.
Or just follow any one of us. We'll announce it somewhere. Yeah. Anyways, what else can we say about this book?
So I guess we could give a synopsis. I mean,
yeah, we didn't even dive right in.
I'll go for it. Okay, so basically it's about our girl who has to move home because something happens to her sister. And so she has to come home, and she also just had a lot of life events happen that really stunk. So it was kind of like a good fresh start for her. And she somehow gets roped into helping with her, is it niece, I guess? Yeah, her niece's Renaissance fair that this town puts on. It's like a huge thing. And she meets Simon, who is a teacher at the school and helps like put on the Renaissance fair.
He runs it, yeah.
He runs it, and he's kind of like very prickly at first, and then perhaps not as prickly later on. Add anything you'd like, guys.
Then their characters that they play at the Ren Fair, they like don't like each other. Basically, the way I'm pitching it, the way I have been pitching it is these two characters like despise each other. They don't like each other. They are very annoyed. Well, she's very annoyed by him. She just
he just comes off so abrasively that she thinks that he does not like her.
Yes, she's been really judged in the past, so I feel like that's why she's so standoffish with him. Anyway, they don't like each other really, but then like they play two characters in the Renaissance Fair that end up maybe starting something up. Their characters do.
Oh, they have, because that first day she gets roped into a marriage ceremony, and it's the best. Or like, what is it? Like a hand something ceremony that's not like, it's not actually marriage. It's just like you're promised for a year and a day. Yeah, kind of like asking them to marry you, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
that's kind of a good synopsis, I feel like. So I feel like if you're here, you probably have read it, or you're watching it back and you've probably read it. But if not, that's a synopsis of it.
Yeah, it's a great fun read. I think it's more of a summer read for sure, because it's like set in the summer. But
yeah, I agree. Yeah, it kind of ends in the fall, right? It ends like right in September. So, yep, I agree.
Do you want to talk about spoilers now?
Yeah, let's dive in.
If you don't want to hear any spoilers, exit the building now.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
I love Emily. I'm just saying. I know that some people might find her very annoying, but the way that I know people have probably said like, oh, she focuses on the negative a lot. She likes to think the worst of things sometimes. I'm like, that's how I think of things. I catastrophize in my brain. So I'm like, I relate to this girl so hard.
Yeah.
She was really good, and she was really strong, even though she still had so much like insecurities, which was one of the reasons why like when we get into the romance, like it's like near the end of the back of the book, right? And like all her little insecurities are coming up, and I'm like, this is not a good thing to have in a relationship. You have to fix this. And they never really did. She just kind of jumped a year and got engaged. Like just like,
yeah.
You didn't go into the insecurities. You just had Simon like basically say, "Oh, like don't worry about that," like placating her a bit, which is not what you do when people. I mean, like it's what you do when people are like trashing on themselves, but it's like that's not going to fix it, right? Like people's words aren't going to fix your own insecurities. There's deeper issues that aren't really addressed that I thought could have been, but that would have meant for a longer book.
Yeah, I do think a lot of times in like especially romances, they do kind of gloss over a lot of those things, which I mean, like part of me gets, because you're supposed to be reading like, you know, maybe like the happier times, but for those of us who want a little more like meat on our,
we just want to know the characters. Like we want it to be real. That's basically it.
But I really liked Emily as well. I thought she was really like, she seemed really real, you know, like she could be someone. And I love the whole, oh my gosh, I wanted to kill her ex-boyfriend. Like what a douche canoe.
I was about to say that.
Leaves, kicks her out of the apartment just because he can't be a lawyer with a university dropout.
I'm like, whose fault is that?
Because of you.
Not to mention that is not a reason to break up with somebody.
No,
at all.
That entire time I was just like, wow.
I know. I was so angry. I'm like on her behalf. I'm like, if I were your friend, like, but yeah. I did really like though how like the talk of her, university and her degree kept coming up and how it wasn't fixed. Like she didn't just be like, yes, I have to go back to get my degree. I kind of liked that. I liked how she found like happiness in other ways. She didn't feel like she had to go. Cause I think sometimes that's a little bit like force fed.
Yeah.
Like it's not everyone's happily ever after, you know what I mean?
And it made me feel good that she was an English major. I was like, yeah.
And like, maybe in like right. Maybe in like another book we'll see her pop up and she will be getting her degree because I do think maybe she would like that, but I liked how it wasn't like that's the only thing I can do.
And it wasn't I love her in that bookshop though. I love her in that bookshop. I saw it coming where she like the woman gives her the bookstore when she's like freaking out. She's like, she's about to fire me. She's about to fire me. Like, no, girl.
She's promoting you. Like,
I loved it. Yeah.
Speaking of that girl, I can't remember her name. All I remember her as Her Majesty.
What was her name?
Christine?
Chris, yeah.
Okay. Question mark? Yeah. What I like as I was going through, I was reading the first part at work, so I just like stole sticky notes. But I like wrote down questions as I was going. So, what role would you want if you were part of a fair?
Ooh. Good question. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'd want something really pretty with like a flower crown.
Me too.
Like,
I'd probably be like
I don't know. Yeah, like a ladies in waiting. Because like I don't know.
Her niece plays. I'd be cool with that too. Isn't she a lady in waiting? I don't know.
I think she is. She's a handmaiden.
Handmaiden. There you go.
I would
just want a pretty outfit.
A queen.
My
general.
People will do stuff for me all day. It'll be the best. I don't want to be any of the like market squares or like having to sell stuff because retail is the worst. So
that's so funny.
Want to be a wench.
No, I think it would be like a really fun costume, but also for like only an hour, not all day for 8
Well, it's like even saying like I would love a pretty outfit, but I guarantee you I'd get tired of the corset in like a week.
Immediately, yeah.
Yeah. I like the flower crown though.
I loved the roses part where she like made it into the flower crown. And then it's on the front cover. It's on the front cover. Her and the rose.
I noticed that. Oops. I did not notice that. Oh well.
I was trying to picture it actually. I was like, as they were describing it, I was like, does she have a braid in her? Like, how is this happening? And then I like closed the book. I was like, I got it.
She bonked her head. You're okay, baby.
Okay. Hi, honey. I really liked her sister too. I thought that the sister relationship was really like interesting, and it was like a nice thing to see. Because it wasn't. I like that they had a bit of an age gap, and like they hadn't been closer. Because that's the kind of family you have, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's not always that your sister or brother is like 2 years apart and you're
super close.
Yeah. Like sometimes you gotta like grow into that kind of thing.
And I liked that I can't remember if we got a lot of the sister. But also I feel like she could be the star of the next book kind of thing.
No, but she's not, because at the end of the book we have her friend. There's a section of the other book at the end of this book.
I mean, like she could be a future.
Oh, a future for another book. Oh yeah,
because you don't get a lot of her, right? Like you don't get a lot of her life besides the accident. So.
Yeah, I think Stacy is the next one, but I agree, Jen. I think they're for sure setting it up for her to have her own like book.
This a fucker. Oh my god. We have a dang of dog treats on the table, and he opens it up and shoves one hanging out of his mouth and just walks away with the dogs following him.
That's the best.
Oh my gosh. That was really funny.
Anyway, okay. Good
thing. I was just like flipping through my book because I annotated most of it, trying to find other questions that I have. One of them is, what name would you choose?
I'd probably be like Emily and like pick something really simple like Emma or something.
I was waiting for that to come back and bite her, and when it did, I was like, "Oh, that's the worst thing that he could have ever done."
I too. I was like, "Oh no, he's a shitter." Like,
I was so mad for her. I was like, no, but it's such like a Freudian slip, right? Like it's just like because it's only a few letters off, like Emily to Emma.
Like, I feel like I would go same thing though. Like, so my name obviously starts with an A, and so I feel like I'd go for like Aria or something.
I would go for something that matches the J.
I love the name Aria though, too, but I think I like that name.
Like Guinevere would be probably close to mine because there's not much with J's. I don't know. I thought that was a fun question.
That is a fun question.
I'd probably do something simple, like I'd even like go with Jane or something like that.
Yeah, something just nice and easy.
Yes.
Because a lot of like the traditional English names, like Elizabeth and Elsbeth and Lisbeth, like those strain of it, those are from the Renaissance era around this time of 1601 and 1602. So like they're typical English names usually. There's no weird ones. Like it's just typical English names.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun.
Names used to be a little more normal. I feel like none of our names are that odd, but there are some out there that are interesting.
Yes.
Which is fine.
It's totally fine.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. I did write a couple notes and I'm trying to
I turned to this page and it just says, "What do you think of Marcus?" Mitch/Marcus.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I was thinking that the next book about her friend, what's her name again? Stacy. I thought her and Mitch would get together, but I guess it's between her and some other random dude at the Ren Fair or something.
Ooh.
I didn't read
I didn't either. I don't think. Yeah, I just kind of.
It's basically just It's all it is Stacy looking at a group of guys like playing the bagpipes and kilts, and it's like saying how it's like a bunch of brothers playing, and she's watching them, and apparently she's like been with one guy before, but only like physically, like when he comes into town every time, but he apparently he does that with every run fair he goes to. So she like doesn't expect anything from him, but she like has a crush on him. But I think his brother that he's with like has a little conversation with her. So I'm thinking maybe that's.
Oh,
I just turned to the page in the back of this. It says, Dex McLean had been my favorite part of fair for the last 2 summers. The man had a body like a Hemsworth. We were just talking about Hemsworth.
Totally called it.
Also, what a terrible name. Dex.
Yeah, it's a bit of a name. I don't really like that. It's really like roll off the tongue. I was trying to think what else to.
Yeah, the other characters. What did you think of Marcus, Mitch, and like Stacy? Like, did you guys feel they were well enough developed, or?
I really liked Stacy actually, and I kind of liked the fact that when we met her, she seemed very like she was just going to be like some ditzy, like kind of airheady. You know what I mean? Like when we first met her, she seemed like she was kind of not going to be well developed, but I thought she kind of gave her some pretty good depth. Like I liked Stacy.
She did enough to just give us a little bit of a flavor because she is the star of the next book.
Yeah. And I liked how loyal she was. You know, she didn't know her that long, and all of a sudden when she was like upset, she's like, girl, I'm gonna come meet you at the bar. Like it didn't take her like long, you know what I mean, to get a good loyal friend.
I find that sometimes you can get with small towns depicted in books, you get like this fierce, almost like toxic loyalty to the people of the town. So like newcomers will be forever the outsider and they'll just like never be included ever. Yeah. And I hate that trope because usually small towns are just like, we know everybody's business. Hi. Like we don't mean to, we just do because we're small. I liked that they took her in pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that her and Mitch, like Mitch was actually a really good friend to her.
I enjoyed him so much. I was expecting from like the outcome, like, oh, like he's gonna be her, like he's, you know, in like a rom-com, there's always that one guy before the real guy shows up, you know, that like makes them realize that this guy's the guy for them. There's always those. I thought that Mitch was going to be that guy, but he just ended up being like the best friend, like a big jock who just loved life. I was like, yeah, Mitch,
I loved how the whole reason she said yes to joining this was to stare at his ass in a kilt all day.
Same.
Mad prop.
The only reason she got her sister to come too was because of Kilt Man. I'm just like, yes.
What if the next book is the sister and Mitch after that?
I would die.
Can
we message Jen DeLuca and just say, hey, we have the idea for your next
You might even have it on Goodreads. We should check because I feel like sometimes they have these things planned out so far.
That's true.
They probably have.
Book 2 is, I think, up there.
Yeah.
I don't know if book
3. Because I don't think book 2 is coming out. Like, I feel like it's not that long until book 2 is coming out, right?
I think it's just 2020.
Okay. Fall 2020.
So okay, so for 2020, we know we're going to be doing Tom Hanks 1, number 2, and this one, number 2, and we're going to be doing probably Fixer Up number 2.
Yeah,
there's Beth O'Leary that's coming out in 2020 that I want to read. So
guess what?
One by Beth O'Leary, the lady who did The Fletcher.
I still have to read The Fletcher.
Oh, Fletcher's so good. It's my favorite book.
Too many books right now. No, it's just book 2 out right now. They don't have book 3 up. That's okay. There's so many good books coming out. There's too many choices.
I made like a list on my Goodreads that are like 2020 releases because I want to do a video about it. And I was like, oh, I'll just find like 15 that I like. I have over 40 now on that list. I'm gonna have to do 2 videos. Like it's gonna be just a time. I'm just gonna be sitting there with my computer just listing books. I'll be like, these are the books that I want to read.
Yeah. I was gonna do one this weekend, but I feel like I'm gonna have like 2 weeks without a video because when I got sick, that was when I was going to do it. So I'm like, oh well, Merry Christmas, guys. It's okay. Yeah. I don't know. I used to stress out over that kind of thing, and then I'm like, you know what? It's a hobby. It's fine. Like it's okay.
I just did the Goodreads of all of the ones that come out next year, and dude, there's so many. I forgot about Wild at Heart. Wild at Heart's coming out the next
number. Oh my god.
Jen, you need to read The Simple Wild.
Now.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. Like, I think you would really love it.
I really do too.
I know that what's her name? Haley from Haley in Bookland. She's one of my favorite people in the entire universe, and I really want to meet her because she's also Canadian. So like, we could be friends.
I want her.
Oh, she read it recently. I think she gave it 4 stars.
Mm-hmm. I think you'd like it. I feel like we're starting to pick up on
what I like.
Yeah,
on each other's tastes. You know.
Yeah,
which is good. I mean, like. I am so prepared for these. You have no idea.
Also, I'm curious what you think of them. We could do The Honey Dauntless by Christina Lauren comes out in March.
Yep.
I'm always down for Christina Lauren. I've only read 2 of theirs, and I adored The Unhoneymooners. I think it's my favorite, like one of my favorite rom-coms of the romances from this year. And then my favorite Half Night Stand was okay.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy their writing style. It's very easy. So I'm going to continue diving into more of their books for sure.
Yeah. Waiting for Tom Hanks comes out in July.
Second one?
Let me pull up my list.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to say about this because now I feel like I'm like, I don't remember.
There's one that's by Emma Lord, and it's called Tweet Cute that I'm really interested in.
Chelsea has read that and loved it.
Because I watched Chelsea, and I'm just like, let me add all the books that she loves onto my list.
Yeah, I love her so
much. The Josie Silver, who wrote One Day in December, is coming out with another one called The 2 Lives of Lydia Bird. And it sounds so good. And the cover is so cute. Yeah. I'm so ready for it.
Oh, I do have that on my list. Yeah, I see that.
What else? Well Played I have on my list. Well Played. That's the next one in the Well Met series.
The Worst Best Man Ever on February 4th.
I have so many middle grades on my list now. Oh, this one's 2021. Oh, sad. I have to remove that.
You have the second book in the Bromance Book Club, which is,
I haven't read it yet. Have you?
I
Did
haven't
you
read
read
that
it?
I haven't read that one either.
It's on my list, but I've been trying not to buy as many like new releases, just because I feel like I have so many books right now.
Have y'all heard of To Have and to Hoax?
No.
I saw the cover the other day. I saw it, but I haven't heard of
so good. This is a historical rom-com.
Shut the front door.
A strange husband and a wife in Regency England feign accidents and illness in attempt to gain attention and may just win each other back from the process. 5 years ago, Lady Violet Grey and Lord James Audley met, fell in love, and got married. 4 years ago, they had a fight to end all fights, and they have barely spoken since. Their once passionate love match has been reduced to one of cold, detached politeness. But when Violet receives a letter that James has been thrown from his horse and rendered unconscious at their country estate, she races to be at his side, only to discover him alive and well at a tavern and completely unaware of her concern. She's outraged, he's confused, and the distance between them has never been more apparent. Wanting to teach her estranged husband a lesson, Violet decides to feign an illness of her own. James quickly sees through it, and he decides to play along in an ever-escalating game of manipulation featuring actors masquerading as doctors, threats of Swiss sanitariums, fox mistresses, and a lot of flirtation between a husband and wife who may not hate each other as much as they thought.
Okay, what's the name of this?
I say, what is this again?
To Have and to Hoax.
This sounds amazing.
This could be our April book.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're just talking about books for next year already.
All right.
If anyone's interested, let us know.
It sounds so much like the beginning of it sounds exactly like, oh God, what is it? It's one of Jane Austen's like original books that she wrote when she was younger. Like I think it might be Love and Friendship, if I'm not mistaken. Because it has that like where there's the carriage accident, but like there's just so much hysterics. The both men die and it's crazy. Like it's just a lot. But this sounds amazing. So
yeah,
added.
I love a rom-com and I love a historical.
I've never read a historical rom-com, so like
maybe, I don't think I have either. I mean, like I've read funny ones, but not like rom-com, you know? It's some of Tessa Dare's book, I would say, are sort of rom-com-y.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Book in the series comes out next year too.
I know. Like the third one, I would say is kind of a rom-com. That thing was hilarious.
It's so good.
I was like crying.
Okay. We really went off topic, but do we want to say anything else about this?
Other than it was just really, really adorable. Like I think a lot of people like this book too. You know,
what was your guys' favorite scene?
I loved the marriage one, or like the ceremony one where they have to first kiss. But then I also love the scene where like he like full on kisses her because she's like, "Why do you hate me?" And he's like, "What?" And then
I was just about to say, he's like, "I don't hate you," and then it's just like Simon kissed like a pirate, and I have it circled. Oh.
I do kind of wonder. I'm like, what does that entail? But
ferociously and passionately, I assume, because pirates don't do anything half-assed. It's great.
Right? I don't know. I'm trying to think of what my favorite scene was.
And then like I died laughing because she like starts hyperventilating because she can't breathe in her corset. And I was like, "Yup."
That was really funny.
That was really funny.
That was funny. She's like, "What's wrong?" No air.
Oh, when she is in his house for the first time.
I was gonna say that was one of my favorites. Was when she like left the bar and was like, "No, I'm doing it." Like, and Mitch gave her the address. And I liked that. I'm like, that is a ballsy move. Like most of us would be too scared to do that. Like, I mean, I'm admitting I'd be too scared to probably do that. So
and it has one of my favorite tropes in it of like him going to kiss her, but then like, but Simon didn't kiss me, not at first, and I'm like, oh, the tension is perfect.
I love that too.
Yeah, I thought that was cute.
It was so good.
I can tell you what my least favorite scene was, though.
Which one?
I think it was probably, which of course it is, but it was the kind of like scene where he goes, like they're together and he goes to pick her up, like the breakup scene basically. Like the miscommunication, like honestly him being so absorbed with one thing he completely ignores her.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like it because obviously it was sad they were like breaking up, but I also just was like, guys.
Yeah, like, he just didn't care at all about her.
Yeah, like I kind of like, I love Simon, and he was like here, and he did drop a little bit there, because I'm like, come on, like
really self-absorbed. I also really loved all this Shakespeare debating. I was like, yeah, give me that.
Why won't you let Shakespeare in our Ren Fair?
I wanted her to show up one day dressed as Shakespeare and just start like spouting "to be or not to be," just like screaming it at the top of her lungs because it fits. 1601 is when Shakespeare was around. Like, I don't know why he doesn't want to include it. Idiot.
I love how the epilogue was at the end. She was like, "I'll convince him." The epilogue, I did not convince him. That was funny.
Yeah, the one thing he's like, absolutely not.
It's almost at this point like
why.
It's like
I get why because he's so like he's an English teacher, and because she was like even the one Shakespeare like he wouldn't let her, which is weird. The one Shakespeare is just weird, but the multiple Shakespeares I get because it's the whole debate of like was Shakespeare actually Shakespeare? Mm-hmm. He was. There's not a thing. He married a lady named Anne Hathaway. They had great kids. It's a good time. But I think that would have been hilarious to include. They have the Queen. Why didn't they have playwrights hanging around? Because that was the era of playwrights and poets.
The Renaissance. Art, writing, poetry.
He's an English teacher. He should be so into that. But I can see I can see why. The multiple, I can see why. But the one would have been hilarious. I want to see Mitch dressed up as Shakespeare.
I don't know. I'd love to see him in that kilt still.
Oh, yes.
I love the part where they were like rehearsing their fighting scene and with Simon and Mitch, and then like Simon like flips Mitch over. Damn, he's wearing underpants.
He's wearing like bicycling shorts.
Bike shorts. And she's like, damn it. And then I'm like, it's a family friendly event. Did you think he was gonna be naked? Like,
but then Stacey's like, I know. The disappointment. It was really funny. I know. So good. It was really funny. I also really liked her niece. I thought she was a fun character.
Yeah, I would really like if, like, in a few years, if they aged her up enough and had she had her own like love of it. Not a Ren. I think they need to get away from this trope, the being at the Renaissance Fair trope. I think they need to. Hopefully that Well Played is different than this. I'm hoping it is.
Like maybe they meet at the Ren Fair, but then like it moves past that into like
a Christmas one. That would be so good if it was a Christmassy one.
The scene that Stacey's in at the end for the snippet of the beginning of the next book. It's like it's the last day affair.
Okay.
Cool.
Perfect.
That will be good.
Perfect.
Do you want to say anything else about this book?
I'm trying to think of any other. Were there any tropes included in this that you guys can think about that you liked or didn't like?
Well, I'm always for like a hate to love.
Yeah. Oh, same. That's one of my favorites. That and fake dating.
I love that. I'm a big angsty romance reader. I need the tension.
But like the one trope that gets me every time that I hate is miscommunication.
Oh my god.
The hate to love trope is usually based off of miscommunication because like people just don't see eye to eye all the time. That really bothers me.
Yeah.
But like when it's a genuine just annoyance with the other person.
Yeah. That's why
Faking Under the Mistletoe is amazing.
The Hating Game by Sally Thorne doesn't have the miscommunication thing, I think. I think they just find each other so annoying. So that's why I love The Hating Game.
I would say there's like a little bit of it, but not the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not like an actual like miscommunication. It's like been built over years in that book.
And one of my favorite things is because of the hate to love, that trope of like, or that scene where they are together and they actually go, wait, like we agree on something.
Yeah.
Like, wait, you're not actually a dick? Oh my god.
Wait, you don't actually hate me? What?
Yeah. I will say, and I think, Jen, did I read it in your review or somewhere? Someone said it. I think that I loved them like getting when they got together. But I will say I was a little like shocked at how fast they went from like kind of
like
not
0 to 100.
To like there wasn't a very big window of like, oh, I really like you. It was like here to like I am in love with you, like you're my person.
It's also one of the tropes that I hate is when they say I love you like 2 weeks in. I'm like, no, you don't.
They've been rehearsing for like months. Like they've known each other for months. They haven't been
True, but
together.
she hated him for months.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I'm not saying it wouldn't happen, but it seemed like it was the way maybe it came across was a little bit like fast. But
and I think that's one of the reasons why like we didn't get a lot of their relationship, because it was like maybe a chapter or two between when they got together and when like they broke up kind of thing. And like it was like a span of time in the story, but it wasn't long like written out because I think the relationship was too easy. Like they just fell into place and they had no issues. They had no like none of that typical thing you find in romance novels where there's a lot of build up to it. It just kind of fell into place and was there and then broke apart because she just probably needed to move the plot along, and it's like, I'm just gonna speed through 2 weeks.
Yeah, I definitely felt like it could have been a little bit longer, and I would have been fine with it. And I don't know too who like if there's any like who has a say in that kind of thing. Like I don't know if it's just up to the author. I doubt it.
Well, I know that like books when they're first picked up and published, they have a word count limit. Because like if you're writing a contemporary, I think the word count limit is between 70,000 and 80,000 words, if I'm not mistaken. And then if you're writing like a fantasy novel, it goes up to like it caps at 100,000 words. But like once you're in it, you can kind of have more wiggle room, which is often why you find the first book of a series is like smaller, and then the second book comes out and it's like this because the author's like, I have a lot to say. That didn't happen with like Children of Blood and Bone. This is almost like half the size of the first book, which I'm really disappointed about. I was like, why? So I'm hoping the book, like third book that comes out in this trilogy, is like thick.
Yeah, and I think that too, like because I know like I know Avery, you read a lot of like self-published books too. Like obviously those rules don't apply.
Yeah, no.
So I think it does kind of take like a mind shift almost, because like here they have like way more freedom, so they can make it kind of as long or as short as they want, which sometimes I think is a bit long-winded when you have some books. But I think it also, like when you have something like this, it's more like traditionally published. You have to keep that in like the back of my head. I'm like, okay, but they didn't have like all these space to make it better, so
no. And I find like a lot of the self-published ones, like Faking Under the Mistletoe, they're not long. They keep them pretty short.
Yeah.
Which is also nice for like reading fast. I also have another one on here that's what's it called? 1 Week Till Christmas.
I haven't heard that one.
I just know it. Oh, damn it. I just know it because what's her face? Josie Darling Reads had this on her Kindle. And I was like, I'm gonna put that on mine too. And it was like $3. So excited for this one.
Cut myself off from Christmas books. Like
I've never actually read a book during Christmas time before, so this is all new to me.
I've read so many. I'm like at the point at this point, I'm like, I don't know if I can do anymore. I'll probably do that one and then leave it for then because I have so many. I also have The Afterlife of Holly Chase that I want to get to, which is a Christmas Carol retelling, because I love the Christmas Carol, and I will read the Christmas Carol as well because I always do around Christmas. But we have like less than a week now. Which I hate.
I can't hear somebody. Is that just me?
What?
Ashley, can I hear you? Can you talk?
Can you hear me now?
It's like really muffled. Is that just
Really
me?
muffled.
Oh, are
Really?
you good? I think that's good now.
Oh, that's weird.
That was
Interesting.
weird.
Maybe my hair was like blocking the microphone or something.
Maybe.
Never know.
Okay. I know Ashley has to get up early
Yeah.
for tomorrow.
Unfortunately. One more day. One more day.
Gross. You can do it.
We're gonna probably cap this live show off. So thank y'all so much for coming and watching if you came and watched any of this.
Yes.
Or watch after the fact.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
or
missed near the beginning, we said that we don't have a book picked out for our January live stream, but we will be announcing it on all of our accounts, all of our YouTubes, and we are planning on making a Twitter account for the lovely ladies.
Yay.
So watch out for that. But we will be announcing our January book probably before December ends.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. And it'll be like the live stream will be near the end of January or like maybe beginning of February, depending on how the week falls.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should sit down for a little bit of time at the beginning of the year, and maybe we should do like let's
Pre-plan.
pre-plan, you know.
I'm into it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Pre-plan, pre-schedule.
I can make like a little calendar to post on like our Twitter or something with everything.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
like that. Yeah,
That sounds like fun. Okay.
I have 3 or 4 in mind. So awesome.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll say bye now.
Yeah. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Thank you all so much for watching.